There's a guy, no shirt, no shoes, running up the hill with a shotgun in his hand.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
Hot diggity.
I'm like, did I just see what I think I saw? Jess is like, you absolutely did. We round the corner down the other side. There's a cop car standing there. I'm like, there's a guy running up the hill with a shotgun. And they're like, what? I'm like, that way. And they go,
Welcome to another CG garage where the monstrous moon shines. We're building new Hollywood like in 1971's prime. From all turds, bold dreams to AI's fever dream. Where tech meets the silver or LED screen. Pixels and passion, our pipelines unknown. To host one show on a deadline postponed.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the CG Garage. Welcome to 2026. We are going to kick off this year with our 2026 predictions episode. Yes, a lot of people do that in different podcasts and stuff like that, and I figured it was appropriate for us to do that. For those of you who know me, you know that I probably ripped off this format from another podcast, one of my other big favorite podcasts. But I'm going to do it anyway. So here's how it went. Basically, I had several guests on. It was obviously me, my good co-host Daniel Thron. We also brought on Mr. James Blevins, who's a big friend of the podcast and big friend of what we do over at Monsters Moonshine. He's from Mesh, the founder of Mesh, and he came on as well. We also brought on Mr. Erick Geisler, co-founder of Global Objects. I also happen to be subletting office space from Global Objects here in North Hollywood, which is great. And so Eric and I get together all the time and always talk about technology and nerd out about it. And so I figured he was appropriate to have this discussion as well. So here's the format. Each of us picked 3 different predictions that we're going to see in 2026. We decided something that is obviously going to happen in 2026, something that's probably might happen in 26, and then one real outlier, spicy take on what might happen. And then we went around and went through all those rounds, totaling about 12 different predictions. And then we'll come back to this in a year and see what we got right and what we got wrong. So that could be really, really cool. Okay, so let's see. A couple other big announcements. You guys may know that I've been expanding the podcast, trying to do a bit more here and there. And I'm very excited to say that I am actually going to try to bring back video. And so if you go to our YouTube channel, which I've resurrected at this point, you will see that you can be able to have a podcast over there, which I'm very excited about. So if you'd like to go to our YouTube, it is youtube.com/CG Garage or at CG Garage Podcast. Again, youtube.com at CG Garage Podcast. Make sure to check us out over there and make sure to subscribe to us over there. I'd also love to have you there. And it would be great to see what's going on. And, you'll be able to check out the visuals of the podcast as well. We are also going to try to expand the podcast a lot more. You guys might know, I sort of announced it last time that CG Garage Podcast was recently ranked as the #1 VFX podcast according to FeedSpot, which I'm super, super honored by. I'm very excited, but I do feel that, and this is something we discuss in this actual episode, we are going to go beyond CG, and we're going to go into all kinds of new technology that's going to enable independent filmmaking and really expand into what new Hollywood is. And I feel that CG Garage can definitely be a place where people want to think about the new Hollywood and new filmmaking and how independent films can be made using all kinds of new ideas and all kinds of new technologies and all kinds of new themes. So that is something that I am super excited about. So that is, I'm not going to get into much. We'll talk about it more on the podcast itself. Okay, a couple other links that you might want to know is obviously cggarage.com is our website. Make sure and check us out over there. MonstrousMoonshine.tv is a parent company. It's the company that owns CG Garage. You can go check out there and learn more about what Monstrous Moonshine is. And if you'd like to follow us on Discord, we would love to have you there. It's a great community. We talk about all kinds of things, Monstrous Moonshine and CG Garage. And it is cggarage.com/Discord, and that will redirect you to the Discord channel. And go ahead and join us there. We'd love to have you on board and check this out. Okay, if you have ideas for podcasts or more things to do, you can always email us. Love to hear from you. Podcast@cggarage.com, podcast@cggarage.com. With that, please enjoy our kickoff episode for 2026. Happy New Year, everyone.
This episode of CG Garage is sponsored by CenterGrid Virtual Studio. Wondering why you went to film school just to be stuck managing hardware lifecycles? CenterGrid delivers end-to-end GPU-accelerated cloud workstations built specifically for VFX and creative production, with flat, predictable pricing and personalized support from people who actually get your workflow. Plus, CenterGrid is TPN Gold Shield certified, so your studio's security is locked down. Check out what Virtual Studio can do for your pipeline at cgvirtualstudio.com. This episode of CG Garage is sponsored by Kitbash 3D, one of our favorite tools and an essential tool for 3D artists everywhere. With the largest library of cinematic quality, production-ready 3D assets, Kitbash 3D ensures that your studio has the tools to build stunning environments quickly, efficiently, and at scale. Design detailed worlds in a fraction of the time without compromising on quality. Head to kitbash3d.com and use the code CGGarage at checkout for 10% off any kit. Again, that's kitbash3d.com, code CGGarage.
I have a story for you guys. I was just I told Eric before everyone joined, but
This is wild.
you know how I'm not going to get into, but you guys all know I've had a crazy week, right? Obviously a lot of personal crazy stuff has happened with me.
Yep.
And so I feel like a shitstorm of bad luck is going on my right now.
Yep.
And so today I was at the bank dealing with some of that stuff, right? And so I was at the bank and helping with the banker, and it was a long process with power of attorneys, et cetera, going on. So I was there for almost 2 hours. As that happened, I'm at the bank in North Hollywood, Wells Fargo. Crazy homeless guy walks in, starts threatening everyone in the bank and yelling and screaming.
Oh, that's how you knew he was crazy.
Talking about how the government is after his money and he needs to come there and he says, you just come, you call the cops. He says, I'm going to tell you guys, and the spies are coming and everything is happening to Russians.
Sure.
Total crazy town. All the bankers are pushing the buttons under their desks.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Nothing is happening. Nothing's happening. I'm trying to pretend like nothing is going on. This guy is going crazy town. So finally, I was like, I'm just going to call 911. I'm telling this, I'm just going to call 911. Call the freaking police. And they're like, we'll be there. Is there a gun involved? I was like, not that I know of. I was like, we'll be there. Took 35 minutes for the police to show up.
That was your mistake. Your mistake was saying that you don't know. If you would have said, he's got something in his pocket and it looks like a weapon, they'd have been there and they'd be like, all right, it's time to party, boys. Get out the SWAT team.
Man. They were like, no gun, Wells Fargo? Yeah, buddy, they're FDIC and shit.
Whatever.
Okay, now listen to this. So Jess and I are driving from our house to our office. We're going down Mulholland, right?
Yeah.
And we round the curve right around where the Aeroflint estate is, you know where the lookout point is? There's a lookout point right up on Mulholland, right? So we round the curve, we're coming down, there's a guy, no shirt, no shoes, running up the hill with a shotgun in his hand.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
Hot diggity.
I'm like, did I just see what I think I saw? Jess is like, you absolutely did. We round the corner down the other side. There's a cop car standing there. I'm like, there's a guy running up the hill with a shotgun. And they're like, what? I'm like, that way. And they go, before I get down the bottom of the hill, 4 more squad cars are like piling up.
Yeah. You got to say the magic words.
So when we had our holiday party, when we had our holiday party, the police came to let us know that we couldn't be too loud. And I asked the cop, I'm like, did you guys catch the guy with the shotgun running up Mulholland? And they're like, yep, we got him.
Nice.
All right. Listen, just Eric, my OCD is kicking in. You got to clean your lens because
It's not-
Oh no, he's
not
got the
the
Saving
lens.
Private Ryan.
We've had this conversation.
Streakiness.
You missed it.
You've missed the entire conversation, James.
It's not the
sorry I
lens.
was late.
It's Omaha
It's
Beach.
not the lens. I put tape. I put things up there. It's the frequency of the LEDs
Oh, the
in
lights.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's causing
Well,
these
that's
weird.
great. That's fantastic.
That is that. Well, people pay
that's a
good money
feature.
for that as a
That's
an
right.
overlay in their video
That's
games.
right. That's an
So,
After Effects
that's an
bundle
After
that you
Effects.
pay for.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's right.
This
For
is they call it the
your
J.J.
podcast.
Abrams effect.
Do you
right?
know?
Yeah.
Do you know what Vlado would pay to have that in V-Ray? Come on.
That's right, man. Look at that.
All right,
great.
guys. Well, thank you guys for doing this. I got to tell you, first of all, this is not an original idea. I completely ripped it off from another podcast, but I thought it would be perfect for us. So here's the way this is going to go. As I gave you guys an assignment, right? The assignment was I wanted you guys to come up with 3 predictions. One that's obvious that's going to happen. This is for 2026. Something that's going to happen in 2026. Something that's obviously going to happen. Something that probably will happen, and something that totally outlandish, crazy thing that was going to happen. And the way we're going to go through this is I'm going to sort of moderate this, and I'll go last, I guess. But we'll go one by one. We'll start each one with our mild, and I'll go one by one, and we'll discuss them and say whether we believe them or not believe them. Then we'll do the mediums, and then we'll do the hard ones. All right, sounds good.
I'm excited.
You guys know
this
the
is good.
premise? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's start with you, Eric. I'm going to have you, and then I'm going to switch orders a little bit later, but we'll start with you. What's your mild prediction? Or the one that's obviously going to happen?
Yeah. So my mild prediction is we're going to see a huge consolidation of media companies, right? I think that there's going to be only a few media companies at the end of the day. It's not going to be as large as it is today. We're going to see a great consolidation down to only a couple in my books. And this is pretty obvious. I mean, there's already plays going on right now between Netflix and Paramount and Skydance and this whole thing. I don't think it stops there. I think this is just the beginning of a huge consolidation stream that's about to happen.
I have some questions on that for you.
Yeah. Shoot.
So for instance, Netflix and Warner Brothers merging and whatnot. There's been lots, even on our Discord, there's been lots of chatter about which is better for the industry and blah, 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 and my feeling there's goods and bads about all of these various deals. That's how I feel about that. There's things that I don't like, there's things that I like, whatever. But if Netflix gets this big, and these media companies merge into the super pool that you're talking about, which I think you're correct about. Doesn't that just sort of turn them into a government agency of media, essentially? I mean, not in a bad way or a good way, but rather that you're not going to be thinking about, oh, Netflix owns everything any more than I think about who owns the electrical grid. You still need to have companies that have an identity.
I do agree with you. I think it's more economics driven.
Right.
Because really what the consolidation means, and there's new studios that are popping up everywhere, in Los Angeles. They're building studios at a record rate.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
You think it's weird. When you do a little bit of digging, you're like, they're consolidating. They're probably, gonna divest some of those properties and do other things with them if the consolidation happens the way that I think it probably is. I don't want to get into some of my other predictions, but it kind of dovetails with some of the other ones. Right. But it is economically driven, I think. The problem is that the old media empires don't know what to do because
Yep. But I do believe there's going to be new media empires.
100%. 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
There's going to be new media empires. There's going to be new. So while we will consolidate some of the old ones, they'll turn into one big thing. There's going to be these new ones that are happening.
let us talk about what is consolidating. So there are consolidations of things that have come before and the architecture and infrastructure that exists that made them happen, made all that come to be. And so that's what's consolidating, right? When we talk about studios buying each other, it's about IP, of course, but also it's about infrastructure consolidation, because the one thing the studios they can't do is come down to the level that the independents are happy to work in, which is a world where they can be 30 cents on the dollar, whereas as efficient as a studio wants to be to support their top-heavy infrastructure, architecture, executives adding value, they can only come down to 70 cents on the dollar. So I don't see any way around this. There's going to be a big consolidation. While at the same time, there's going to be a renaissance, right? I think this is because the machine still needs to be fed, and the artists will not have to ask for permission because there'll be no one to ask. It'll just be private investment, and it's.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. The one thing, I mean, we mentioned Netflix and Warner Brothers joining. The people who have bought Warner Brothers have a bad history. Every single person that has tried to buy Warner Brothers has collapsed or gone bankrupt.
Oh, yeah. That history is
so.
Remember AT&T?
AT&T and all this stuff. So I'm wondering, like,
AOL,
what AOL, all that stuff. Are those guys? Is Netflix kind of going to be in trouble because they own Warner Brothers?
I think that's kind of a risky proposition.
Yeah,
there's no choice. There's no choice. They have to.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's the right move by Netflix for sure to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Netflix has.
They need a proper legacy studio.
Yeah, Netflix can't hold on to its identity as simply Netflix. Like people,
no, I don't think that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, like they have to change into something else. If that, like Netflix is like what you watch on TV. Still has to be that brand, but Netflix as a concept can't be that limited because then they won't be able to make money off of this IP.
Now you're onto something, because that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That Reed Hastings, I talked with him specifically about the fact that his whole culture deck was talking about congratulations, you're at Netflix, you've joined the Olympic team, it's going to be fantastic, and all these sports analogies, and I was like, I have shows that are asking where their premiere is and know what the Oscar push is going to be like. And we weren't doing Oscar pushes. And so I said, well, we Olympians get gold medals, right? You get that culturally. This is their gold medal. So what do you want to do?
The analogy is right in front of our face. Netflix is to entertainment that Amazon was to commerce. Right?
Right.
Started out as a book company. Now they sell everything. Right? Amazon started out as a DVD rental place on the internet where you would get mail it in, mail it back. Now they're going to be running everything. I mean, at the end of the day, it's consolidation, right? It's it's a monolith.
Right.
I don't know if
Amazon
it's good.
still and Amazon has my number, right? It from the algorithm, it's just like we're gonna even though there's only a very small number of people that want like the 4K Blu-ray Sorcerer blah 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 disc and so we know you're one of them, and we're gonna spend this much money
collection.
And it's gonna laser focused on. And I'm just like, oh, it's from Vinegar Syndrome. And I get like all fetishy about it because people want brands to identify themselves with so they can tell what they're watching. Like Netflix right now, as a brand of things that you watch, is, and I mean no offense to Netflix,
easy now.
It is Doritos. Like you are relaxing at home at the end of the day. Most of what they make is meant to be sort of that's it. Like, but if you're going to buy all these other licenses, all these other IP, and grander things in media, then you must have an eye
on predictions.
I'm getting just one second. Let me finish my sentence.
Let him
finish.
If
you're going to do that, then you have to have a larger eye for what your company will become. Then we're just going to sometimes put Casablanca on Netflix. Like that's not what they're doing. Like they have a much bigger vision in mind.
Okay. So because we have 12 of these to go through, and we only have been through one, I'm going to move on. Okay, but. It's fine. You can bring it back up in
file that one under duh.
I'm done. I was like, so many people are like,
all
they're
of
going
these
to
are
lock all
supposed
those
to be
movies away. I
done,
was like,
right? All
okay,
these
I
are
got
supposed to
one.
be done. Okay, no. I'm going in my. Well, okay, all right, James, you go ahead. Go ahead. What's
Well,
your
I just as long
what's
as we're
your
on
easy
the
prediction?
topic of duh.
Yeah,
I believe in the not too distant future,
it has to be
what people
2026.
perceive.
Has to happen within 2026.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I believe that YouTube will own the Oscars. No, I believe never happened.
All right.
No, I
I'm all
believe
for it.
that along the production supply chain and into distribution as well, the in between supply chain problems in subbing, dubbing, editing, just all sorts of little areas of friction along the supply chain will become frictionless, and this will this means that you will show an algorithm a clip and it'll just do the Foley. You'll show an algorithm a clip and it'll remove all the actors. You're going to find all these little pieces of like getting very cost-effective background plates. You're going to get all these little effective storytelling augmentations, assistants that just will create more time to do what we want to do, which is story. So.
Yeah, I think you're right. All the things like
Yeah.
dubbing and all those bits and pieces, the things that just are. You're absolutely right. I 100% agree with you. I think because I was at this AI summit with the Google folks. They invited some people to get together. It was very small, like 30 people, and I met the guys at Flawless there. And they were showing me some of the stuff that they were tooling up. And I agree. It's like, you're right. There's these points of friction that have been there for years that have always taken time, energy, etc. We have to do them because they're deliverable and we have to do the deliverable this way. You're right. It's going to, these are easy wins.
Yeah, I remember specifically talking to one of the main colorists behind Marvel films, and he said they have to do 28 different deliveries for DI for different colors and formats and blah, blah, blah.
And the airplane version.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Blood can only be a certain color.
Instantaneous, yeah.
Yeah.
Blood to mud for all the trailers.
Yep.
And mud to all that.
That's
stuff.
right. Blood to mud.
Yeah, blood to mud.
I'll take my blood to mud to blood. That'd be great.
James, okay, you are absolutely correct. Believe that's going to happen. Solid.
So I get
prediction.
points? Are we winning? Am I winning? Am I tired of all winning?
You'll find out if you win in 2027 when
we do this next year.
Get the score.
Can we recap it next year?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's
Okay, Daniel, what's your easy win?
I think that before the end of the year, there will be like popular YouTube level user positionable camera in AI that you can start shooting movies with that look pretty good. And I think that they're very close to having that
what
now.
Camera?
Could you
Right now, say again?
Okay, can you extrapolate on that?
Yeah.
So
I can't put a bet on this yet.
So
guys, I got it 100%. Like,
I missed it.
So I think that because the problem with rendering things in AI right now is that you're kind of rolling the dice every time, even in the most controllable versions of it.
Oh, I see.
Right. Yeah. And that is the number one thing that gives away AI is it forces you to use like random camera angles to cut together what you're making. Like even if you have great taste, your selection is going to spend all your credits.
Okay.
I think that they're going to boil it down. Someone will boil it down to a pipeline that anybody can just go, I want to move the camera over by 2 feet and use a lens like kind of like this, like click on a picture, like a lens that looks like this, click, and be able to film the thing that they just put in again from that point of view accurately. And that will be for the next year after that, you'll see short films made by the SCADs with that technique.
Yep. That makes sense. I like that. It's along the lines of where I was going to go with this. I agree with this one. The one that mine is, no, that's actually a different one, but I'll get to that one.
Okay.
I believe
That's-
that box office 2026 will be bigger than box office 2025. That's an easy one.
I like that. I like that.
Just by what Zootopia and Dune 2 combined. I
That's
think.
all you need, baby. Especially with me going.
No, 2 and 3. No, that's not it.
Get
It's
those
actually
numbers
the
up,
opposite.
Thron.
It's actually the opposite of that. I actually believe there's going to be more interesting non-franchise ones that are going to be released.
I agree.
baby.
Yep.
Right? So like Project Hail Mary, Odyssey, that's not franchise. Those are
Well, clearly
existing
people
IP,
still
but they're
want to
not.
go to movies. Like they still want to do that.
And I actually think there's going to be I predicted last year that we're going to see way more interesting independent films, and we did. We did a lot of really good, like films, like things like Sinners and Weapons, and
and down to like we were just talking about Roofman. Like that's a really good little weird.
Bring Her
indie.
Back.
It's great.
Bring Her Back. One Battle After Another.
Yep.
And by the way, this doesn't necessarily mean that they're all cheap films. Some of them are expensive. Odyssey's expensive, right?
They feel new,
but they feel new, and they're going to be just. You're not going to see. We're going to see way less Marvel, way less. Superman stuff.
Does anyone know how many Marvel films or superhero films are slated for next year?
I don't know, but the only one that I think came out this year was
small.
Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah, which I thought was pretty good.
Pretty
I'll
good.
be honest, I thought it was
I
pretty
agree.
good.
Pretty
I
good.
was
And
actually-
ironically, it was
It's the bomb.
it's the ones about the rebel leftover junky superheroes that no one cares
It was
about.
the emo villain.
Yeah.
It was.
They're
all
like
emo.
I think that
it was
they forced
fine.
themselves to they forced themselves to have to make a pretty good movie, which they had not done in a while.
And Florence Pugh carried that movie. Like she was
100%.
really good.
100%.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that is definitely a good prediction, and I can get solidly behind it.
All right. Yeah. So I do think
I
2026 is
think
going to be bigger. Might be by a significant amount.
I think people are hungry for original stories.
Oh my
Big
God.
time.
Big
Oh, man.
Desperately
No such thing.
hungry for original stories.
No such thing.
And I think the
The theater systems are going to have to adapt too, because the theater systems.
This
Well,
is
just put
what
it this
I
way.
want.
Brady has gone. Now he finally got his AMC stubs that he wanted for Christmas, which is funny, right? Like everyone says, kids don't want to go to the movies. No, he wanted an AMC stub subscription.
Gen Alpha
right?
wants to see what it's all about.
Yeah,
They're into it.
You know what he's going to see? He's going to go see all these anime films that are rated R.
Yes.
And so I have to fucking get him into
Chainsaw.
this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Chainsaw
Absolutely.
Man, all that stuff.
Yep.
Stuff that the movie, like people in AMC the corporation probably is like, I don't know what this is.
This
and
is
suddenly
what
like,
it's about,
why
dude.
is everyone going to go see this thing?
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, like, what messed up the theater business, like, why we were in such bad shape, is that, and why the theater experience got so cruddy, is because the past 20 years was these big dumb franchise films that people were just going to see because it was something to do with the mall,
And
as opposed to going to see it because they wanted to see a movie. You know. And so now, like, I think the movie theaters, if they're smart, have a chance to get some.
I'm excited for new movies.
Traction back.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I think also big dumb franchises. Look, I love big dumb franchises.
If they're well made, they're some of the best.
No, I know where you're coming from, but I just want to say caveat that it's not the budget that drives you batty.
No.
It's the fact that
it was the dumb part.
misapplied talent to the budget.
Yeah.
Is what drives
Like, I
you
mean,
batty.
And bad
like
story.
Top Gun Maverick.
That's what I'm saying.
all over
Misapplied
it. See
talent.
that 5 times in the theater.
Yeah.
5
Absolutely.
times all over
Yeah.
those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I mean, there's just no excuse for a bad movie, right? Like we love to escape. We love the magic trick when you flicker these images in front of our face and make us believe we're off somewhere else. You know, it's an experience, and I think the magic of cinema is something that we long for. Stories in cinema is something that, as a species, I think it's like it's second nature.
Yeah, well, it makes it so. When you see something that big and that tuned into you with other people who are also enjoying it, like you get completely unselfconscious. Like that's the greatness of being in a great movie theater, right? And I think that especially when they re-released K-pop Demon Hunters in theaters, like Netflix knows the value here. Like Like a gazillion people saw K-pop Demon Hunters, which is really good, by the way, on Netflix. And then a bunch more went to go see it for the 2 weeks it was out in theaters, because that adds a level of connection that they didn't get at home. Like, this is a way for them to, it's like going to see, someone you love in concert. And that's how I feel like I'll go to see Godfather in the movie theater. I'm seeing Godfather in concert. It's great.
Yeah, it goes back to what is it like to go, like back in the day, a movie theater experience was something you could never get at home.
Yeah.
And as technology sort of progressed, when I saw The Wizard of Oz with my kids at the Sphere, it dawned on me that the theater experience, the game needs to be elevated. And I'm in a couple $1 billion thing with the most amazing sound in the world, with all this interactive experiential stuff. That is, I think prediction wise, I think that's what the experience of going to a theater is going to be elevated at some point soon.
I do think Gen Alpha is going to have a reinterest in theaters for sure.
They already do.
Because everyone did, and I think that people think that kids only want to watch TikTok are wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's
exactly.
I think they're wrong. Very, very wrong. They don't mind long format, sitting down and paying attention to one thing for 2 hours.
Dude, these dudes, like, these kids, when they play video games, they're like, video games are not like, we think of video games as like, Mario. The video games that they play are ultra dense 180-hour epics with zillions of passionate characters. Like, they are into that scene. And once they discovered that that's what movies used to be like, they're like, oh, wow. And now they go see these old movies when they get re-released. For sure. It's incredible.
Okay, we're going to move on to number 2. Okay, number 2 is your medium prediction. I'm going to start with you, James. Go ahead. What is your medium prediction?
Okay. Well, I had one, but now I'm confusing it with my. It's all sort of happening all at once.
Everything,
and
everywhere.
So everywhere, all at once. So the one I have is actually not. It's only related to media entertainment, because I believe that as we fully go digital, and as we can see, like the sort of contraction of the ABCs and CBSs and all that sort of just being sort of whittled down to their digital streams. At the same time, we've got a bit of a power problem as all this stuff is kind of lifting up, and I do see investment occurring in space storage.
Mm-hmm.
And I do see, I know it's a little bit out there, but hear me out. First space hotel is going up next year. What do you think the Starship is for? It's just going to start lobbing these chambers, that can all be sort of connected up into space, and that'll give sort of the ability to sort plugging things in up there and putting structures in place where they can get sun all the time, and there's going to be ways to put data up in those spots, and they'll be easily accessible to a majority of the planet, and so you get all this power, you get all this sort of centralization for things that need it and that will benefit from it.
So what we should be looking for then, when we're looking for exoplanets, is evidence of floating objects that have the entire
SSDs?
collection of Kolchak the Night Stalker on them. Like that's how we'll know.
That will be one of the that will be one of the
signs.
The results. But it's
Hubble
I know it's still out there.
Space data centers, specifically storage, or are you talking about actual like compute and GPUs up there?
It's all gonna. It's a lot of it's gonna go up.
You're saying that we're going to be mining Bitcoin up in space.
That's right. We're mining Bitcoin in space. Our AI,
and this is by 2026. So within a year.
It's cold. It's cold enough
man.
up there, right? Yeah,
love
we don't got the heat
nice
problem.
chilly, get sun. It's got
sun for
I
energy, so we can. I see.
You have valid points for sure. I mean, like you said, lot more power and a lot of cooling.
No, it's
That's
amazing.
right.
I think I was thinking of saying now we should remake Outland. Only now it takes place instead of a
Dude,
mining facility. It's a
Outland
data mining
is-
facility.
Outland is one of my favorite Western
time.
space
I just bought
movies
a 4K
of
of
all
Yeah.
time.
So
See?
good.
See?
So good.
Yeah.
Eric, you are another member of the 1971 club. I know that.
Oh,
That's
yes,
right.
God.
Right.
yes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's going to happen because I tell you, I do believe, and that there's going to be a whole new bunch of ways to control camera in orbit. There's going to be all sorts of wild stuff that comes with creating content in space.
Okay.
And I think it's all coming online.
It's a
pretty damn
little.
quick.
That's a little spicy for me, but I'll say that.
I
We'll
would
see if
I
it
would have moved that to the. I want to hear what your crazy prediction.
I wanna hear the crazy one.
Yeah.
That's
No,
pretty,
no.
that is pretty
But that's an
crazy.
interesting
the
one.
first,
All right.
the first series on Netflix made by aliens.
Okay. All right, Eric, what is your medium take?
All right, my medium take is we are absolutely going to see the rise of fully AI generated personalities and music in 2026.
Yeah, but haven't we already seen that, like with Little Michaela and stuff like that?
Not
We've seen a little bit of
Not
it,
the
but
way
yeah.
we're gonna.
We're going to see an epic shift in this space, and there are going to be actors,
Okay.
performers that are completely synthetically generated, made by a small team of people.
So I
Okay.
believe that this is just about to happen, right? So I'm behind this whole thing. I think you're right on, and I think that what's happening is just look at the McDonald's commercial that just came out. Everyone kind of went, "Whoa!" Right? But that was because it just wasn't fully baked, that sort of thing. But I do believe it led to a conversation like, "Wait, is that AI?"
Yeah.
And I
Right.
believe that everything now is that we like, and that is almost like too pretty and too perfect. We're gonna like, is that AI? And
Yep.
so that will lead to the next thing, which is, well, do I care? You know,
Right.
and that's going to happen really fast.
And most people already
once we get
don't.
past the do I
So,
care part,
yeah.
then we're opening ourselves up to like, God, I want to have a beer with that person who
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
I have,
And
I have
so-
a mild spin on that to say, like, I bet that is first going to happen with animated material
Yes.
on a YouTube level, and then cross over into like
That's a
so
good
from
take on it
Yeah.
because YouTube and animation doesn't start with a star. It starts
Mhm.
with just something good, and
Yeah.
then they become a star.
and crosses
right?
over. Right.
Yeah, Mark
And then-
Rober
and
wasn't
then-
famous before he was on YouTube. He became famous
Right.
because he started his thing on
Right.
YouTube.
Because
You
you
know,
have
you're the
that,
kind
and
of
then
person
you have voice actors that are generated and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
when it's going to cross.
That-
over.
I mean, a little bit. It's a little far fetched. It's like the Oscars going to YouTube. You know, I'll
It's
just say it
gonna
again.
happen, baby.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It has happened. You realize that, right? That
Yeah.
did happen. Okay,
Yeah,
just
it
to make
did.
sure.
Let's go.
At the time of this recording, we're all little shell shocked that the Oscars will be on YouTube.
YouTube, yes. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
This fits into my prediction.
Okay. So you can go next.
I predict that this will be the turning point for YouTube being thought of as someplace where you watch fiction.
Oh, interesting. Fictional
Which is
story.
not-
So you,
Yep,
yeah, not just
Yep.
some guy.
Not
putting
just
a-
nonfiction. We watch it
Not,
because
not
it
an
used to be.
unboxing of your VR
Right.
headset.
It used to be cat videos only, and then it turned into slowly into this is where I get my news, and I watch nothing but nonfiction all the time. And now there's personalities that dominate it, that make their own stuff, and those personalities like Markiplier, et cetera, and these dudes are getting into making their own movies and like more fiction based stuff. And all the up and coming kids are watching handmade Dungeons and Dragons stories played out as shows. Like it's going to cross over into regular adults watching shows on YouTube that are shows with people in them that you recognize, and you can see that early on Netflix was saw this when they saw Cobra Kai appeared on YouTube Red, and they're like,
yeah.
we should buy this immediately, otherwise YouTube will get in the game. So I think that YouTube is looking to get in that game.
Yeah.
That is my
okay.
slightly spicy take.
That's a slightly okay. I believe you. I believe. Well, first of all, YouTube is the dominant is dominating in a lot of ways in terms of actual screen time. But
Many
also, by the way,
eyeballs.
YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. So just so people.
That's wild. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So first is Google and then is YouTube. Okay. My medium take is that it's not really that medium, and it's related to what I think Eric was saying. We're going to see the end of novelty AI. We're done, right? We've already seen Will Smith, crappy Will Smith eating spaghetti to very good Will Smith eating spaghetti, and no one cares anymore. Like how good Will Smith looks like eating spaghetti doesn't matter anymore. Now, only thing people actually care about is how much work, like what can they actually do with things, right? So I'm done with LinkedIn where everyone's like, look how amazing this looks. This is going to disrupt all of media and entertainment. It's like, fuck those guys. Like now let's make some real tools that actually make a difference, that are practical to use. And I'm saying this because I know the guy on the screen that I'm talking to has been making tools that are doing exactly what I want. And I'm like, yes, thank you. I'm going to see way more of that, or at least I hope, and less novelty like stuff.
Yeah. So I think that's sort of, there's AI and then there's professional AI. And I think that's what we're beginning to sort of like, everyone's been making a play for like a subscription model, like, oh boy, come and jump in and make a movie and you do make a couple of cool things and a Christmas card.
And you get the great McDonald's commercial.
You do. But then that's right. It's right. So when we look at this, the tools is like, yes, that's all great. What is professional AI? What are these tools in a professional setting?
But it is coming. I mean, so if you think about it, like we're on this evolutionary trajectory, and what we've noticed, and myself particularly, is that in these sort of at the zenith of a new technology, like an old technology is at its best when this new technology is coming in to disrupt it, right? And so you got to look at the adoption curve, right? So what happened was AI was on the roadmap for a long time. And then we passed the Turing test, right? And the Turing test was, am I communicating with something that I think is human? And that was ChatGPT. That sort of like broke the world because you went from 0 to 100 million subscribers in 30 days. Like it was like the most incredible thing anybody's seen. And then that gave way to these chat models that are now, interestingly enough, able to code and generate and build and do these other things. So now we're in a space where professionals are starting to use these tools to build tools for professionals. And that is where we're going to see it usher in. Like, I don't want to roto anymore. So I want to use AI for that.
Yeah,
I don't want to, it's can we make that feedback loop that used to be very expensive and time consuming from I've got an idea and I want to see something. It used to take, millions of dollars to get this preview out. And now, well, shit, I can do it on, on a laptop in a couple of minutes. To what does the tool chain look like for the next iteration of the studio? And that's what I think we're all trying to build right now is the next, the old is dying. What does this new studio system look like? And what are the tools that run that chain?
But I actually think they're going to start using more of the tools that the old studios had. For example, you don't care about making a very good looking Will Smith eating spaghetti. You want to say, what kind of spaghetti? How many things? Where's the lighting? Controlling it. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that's important here, right? Because that's when you're making a movie, you don't just say, give me this and then walk away with version 1, right? And now you need to be able to do version 2s. AI tools have not allowed us to do version 2s very much. They've only done version 1s. Version 1, if you don't like that, I got a million other ideas and they're all different.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good at it's really good at 80%, impossible to get to 100, right?
Yeah.
That's really because that's like how I always say with David Fincher, working with someone like Brad Pitt. I love Brad Pitt. Like I think he's a marvelous actor. David Fincher does 100 takes with Brad Pitt, not because that's fun, it's because 99 of them are wrong. Like
according to David Fincher,
who's the one who's deciding, right? And if you're running AI or whatever it is, like the AI is Brad Pitt, right? And you're like, okay, you're
Yeah.
really good, Brad. So here's my prompt. And he's like, how about like this? And you're like,
That's right.
do that, but quieter.
That's
okay,
right.
How
And
about
then you
like
bring up a
this?
very interesting point, right? Which is people are like, well, AI is only right 80% of the time. I'm like, what's your average, buddy?
Yeah,
you know,
dude,
it's
it's like what we are searching for is more control over Brad Pitt, so he does it right within
Right.
10 instead of 100. But the fact is, I'll still stick around until it's right. Like that's
Yep.
my job as an artist.
And by the way, the threat that AI is going to take away all these creativity, that's exactly the point. It's not, because you still have to have someone say, that's not right.
That's not right.
and right now
so-
it's still in the hands of
somebody
the
is-
artist.
Right. Somebody has to write the prompt.
Yeah,
Somebody
like,
has to
someone has to look
and
at
then
it and say,
judge
"This
the
sucks."
results. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like, this is-
including
this is
including
what
the
I always
actor
say.
you're controlling, right?
Right, like,
There's-
when I get into debates with people, because I was just in a debate on social media about this.
Did you
And
win?
And I can't believe I totally won, and I won mine. But this
I
this
won it.
person,
Yes.
I've argued with before. She's super awesome. She's very, very nice. But she's just like I have yet to see. It's always a product. It's not real. Blah blah blah. Okay, I get it, right? But I'm like, she can't see it as art. I'm like, here's the thing: is that in you saying that what you saw sucked, that's the first step of being an artist. Like you're already taking it right there. You looked at it and said, that's not good enough for me. And the next step after that is to try to make it do the right thing. And then you look at it again and go, is that correct? No. And your only job as an artist, regardless of working with AI, is to not give up until you think it does what you want it to do, that it evokes the feeling in you that you want to represent for other people. If you give up before then, you're not a very good artist. That's why you see so much garbage. Because most people are like, dude, cool. Kim Kardashian riding a hot dog. That's what I was hoping for. And then they just put it out.
I always had this reaction because I've always had this debate about people who react to quote unquote AI art and whatever. And I said, if you're reacting to what you see because it gives you an emotional response about what it is, then it's art. If you're reacting to what you see because it gives you an emotional response as to how it was made, then it's craft.
Then it's craft.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Or artifice. Right.
Right. So
Right.
a lot of people's like, I don't like it because it's AI. It's like, that's not the point. Marcel Duchamp put a fucking urinal in a museum, right? Called it the fountain, and it was one of the most important pieces of art out there.
I have a great
no
quick
craft.
definition for
None.
art that fits for everybody, right? Is that
It's a pipe.
that art is the thing that happens inside you when you look at something. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
the
art in the
it's the-
thing.
Right. It's the observation. It's the
observation. Like you are the one
right.
having the feeling, right?
the contribution of the viewer. Right.
That's it. And as
It's-
an artist, it's
right.
the same relationship. Only like what you're doing is like I always put it like this. I say like, okay, so you're looking at a sunset and it moves you. Like it's so beautiful or reminds you of your childhood or whatever the reasons are, you are moved and you take a photograph of it, right? That photograph, you have nothing to do with anything in that photograph. You did not create the chemicals that are refracting the light. You didn't create the sun. You didn't do anything. You didn't make the camera, nothing. So what did you capture, right? What you captured was when you felt something, right? And because we are all humans that are basically emotionally the same, when I look at that photograph that you took, I'm made of the same stuff you are in the same organization. And so even though I don't have your history in particular, when I look at your photograph, the chances are high that I will read and decode what you encoded there. Like you captured this moment, it goes, humans like that, click. I respond to this. And then I look at it and I go, ooh. Now, if it's AI, the image I'm seeing is the sunset. Like maybe it is a robot, doing something, whatever it is. But I'm the one who's going, that is working for me. And I'm taking a picture of it. Like that is the art of it. You are creating a fingerprint of your feelings. And then somebody else goes, oh, I know what that fingerprint is. Like there's no psychic connection. There's no like mystical anything. It's just that we're humans. And when we see these things, we feel these things. That's how it works.
Dan, you've sold me on this one before, and I love this whole thing that you get into. But you missed one of the most intriguing part that you talk about. I'm going to remind you of it now, and that is, while you decode the picture and you feel a thing, the artists who took that picture, it's really none of their business what you're feeling.
You are not connected to that artist at all. It is
right.
that is the illusion of art.
Right.
So you have nothing to do with that person.
That's right.
You are feeling your feelings.
That is your feeling, and your relationship to a piece of entertainment is strictly your business.
You are looking at a canvas with glops of oil paint on it. That's all that's happening. Like you don't have a telekinetic response to Picasso. That's not what's
right. That's right. And I think that's really an interesting thing as we go down this AI thing, right? Which is like, do we care? You know,
So that's along those lines is like, we're not going to care anymore. There's not going to be any reactions like, I don't like this because it's AI. Like that's going to go away is what I'm predicting by 2026. That's my mouth.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to go to spicy. Go to super spicy. Who did I start? I started with you, Eric. I started with you, James. Okay. So Daniel, now it's your turn. Super spicy.
All right. I had an experience. I wrote a short story, a science fiction short story about AI, and I decided to make an audiobook out of it. This is about a year ago, and I used 11 Labs, and it was incredibly difficult to make it even sound remotely good at this, right? Because I initially put the entire story in there, and no matter what it was saying, it was just like, hello, I'm talking about blah, blah, blah. Like, and the guy fell off the thing and died. And like no emotional read whatsoever. So I was like, how do I get this thing to do what I want it to do? Read it how I want it to be read emotionally, like you're listening to a good audiobook. And what I had discovered was I'd put in like basically paragraph by paragraph or sentence by sentence sometimes. I'd paste the paragraph in, right? And then I'd put the entire thing in quotes. And then after it, I would put, she said sadly, right? And then it would go, and the guy fell off the building and died, right? She said sadly. And then say the whole thing. I would edit out the she said sadly bit and just use the first part, right? I put them all together in a string. And it sounded okay. It didn't sound perfect, but it had an emotional cadence that I could direct. I had to do that 400 times, and it took about three weeks off and on to get this done.
Okay.
I just wanted to power through it to do it, right? To see how hard it would be. Turns out it was really hard. What I think is the spicy take for this upcoming year is that there will be on the horizon agents that work with you specifically creatively, right? Not just in the way that I'm describing, but say, for instance, as your cinematographer in an AI environment, and you'll be able to talk to them and say, can you just make the camera a little lower? What if we switch to a 50? And then it'll go, that's great. I know that you love Godfather 2, and this actually reminds me of the shot of Fredo. And I'll be like, yeah. Well, do it like that then. And it will do it like that. And it will be very localized and more specialized to my tastes to employ my creativity.
I think this is already happening.
This is already happening in very small ways.
So it's not that spicy because I already see it happening. Yeah,
right. This is already slightly happening, but like you will have like.
I think you're right. I think there's going.
He's right.
Fundamentally, these agents are going to know us better than we know ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I hope so, because God, I need
And they're
help.
going to be our personal scribes and our personal.
I was doing a treatment. I was doing a treatment.
Actors, everything.
I was doing a treatment with one of these LLMs, and I was working on it and doing things like that. And it's like, oh. The LLM says, like, this is interesting. Maybe we should do a thing where it's a combination of there will be blood and this. And I'm like, holy shit, totally gets it. Like, it was weird. It was like I was talking to someone who's seen these movies. right?
Exactly.
But
so imagine now if I
well,
were
why don't
not
you
real.
invite it
if
to the
I'm-
podcast, okay, Chris?
well, this is what I'm saying, man. Is like, okay, so imagine we have like we're making a movie, right? And there's a character like we're making There Will Be Blood. Say we're the first ones to make this movie, right? We have created Daniel Day-Lewis as an actor, like from the ground up. There is no Daniel Day-Lewis in the real world. We have him here, and we're like in the AI. We're looking at the AI, bowling alley,
Right.
and we're like, Daniel Day, we're thinking you go over there and beat Paul Dano to death. What do you think? And the AI actor will go, well, I don't know. Would I really do that?
I should beat his
Like,
wife.
I'll give you a great
motivation?
monologue, AI. But you will, like, I was directing that performer for my short story in those sentences. And that was only 2 years ago. And by now, by this time next year, I think something like that will be on track to be like, hey, Frank, could you do this way? Or could you give me a shot like this? And it'll be like, yeah, I know what you like, the way you like it. Absolutely. And do that. And we'll love it.
Okay. This is a good one. We'll go back to that one. James, I believe you're the second one for spicy.
Man, spicy. Come on, we gotta go spicy.
What's your spicy? I mean, you
Come
already had
torn.
space. You already had space data centers. For God's sake,
Oh, yeah.
You're mild.
Not
You
that far off, not that far off.
started with space data centers.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Come on.
That's an
Okay.
By the way, I gotta
Okay,
tell
let
you,
me tell
one
you
of
where we're at.
my first job. I gotta tell you this. One of my first jobs as a visualization person coming out of Rice University when I was doing stuff. I worked for the nanotechnology lab, right? That was and I was visualizing. I was working for.
It was very small.
Yes. And in fact, the guy who won the Nobel Prize in chemistry, his name was Dick Smalley. But
the best.
I am not kidding.
That's
Look
the
it up.
perfect
You go,
name.
Smalley.
I'm not kidding. Look it
That
up.
is the perfect name.
But they had come up with the idea of the space tether. You know, the space tether idea?
Yeah,
Using
of course.
nanotubes.
The space
So-
elevator. Yeah.
Space elevator using nanotubes. So
Asimov.
I had to visualize a space elevator and make it for the cover of Time magazine as a CG back in 1997,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. Space
Yeah.
elevators, they were hot, man.
They
They
were
were
hot.
hot.
Anyway,
Where's our space elevator?
So what's your spicy?
Yeah.
What's your spicy?
Well, you got to kind of look at history and see where we were, right? And I believe
It's always a good place to start.
we're having a similar problem right now that the guy named Fritz Haber fixed in the 1900s. He invented nitrogen fertilizer, right? And we were at a point where we were beginning to fight over bat guano, right?
Like you do.
And there were wars being started over these cave openings with huge piles of bat guano because
Yeah.
we couldn't feed it ourselves.
Yeah,
It was
it was
going
a
to be a
shitty
real big
experience.
problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Fritz Haber, by the way, the guy who also came up with mustard gas, got this whole pulling nitrogen out of thin air, right, and then being able to put it into the ground. This is the only reason why we have this many people on the planet today. This is it. We wouldn't be here like this if it wouldn't been for the invention of nitrogen and fertilizer. We didn't invent nitrogen. We invented fertilizer.
We did invent bats, though.
Yeah, so, it put the bats out of work.
You
and
know
that's a
what,
real shame.
man? That's
Now-
where the term people were going batshit crazy. That was where it
That's
came
right.
from.
That's exactly right. All this connects.
Thanks,
It's all
Fritz.
connected. Right. Now, so what's happening now that's like that? It's power. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's so that's where we are right now. We have just butted. We have all these cool things we got to get done. We're going to do. Free market capitalism is going to solve every problems, but we're going to have to. One of the problems is we don't have enough power. And so I do believe that the spicy take is as soon as the powers that be can figure out how to charge us for it, we're going to have as much power as we could possibly need. It's the power that access to power is not going to be the problem. It's going to be
Where are we going to get the power?
well, looks like
It's going to be how
fusion
long does
is-
Dan Thron want to be on a treadmill?
Fusion's coming online.
They're bringing nuclear back in a big
And
way.
nuclear's coming back in
Fusion,
tiny little chunks. You can shop for a little, you want to go build a small village in the middle of
Little
nowhere in the
reactors.
desert, get a little tiny
Size
nuclear
of
power
trucks.
station,
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
little
yeah,
power station.
yeah. Yeah, it's so
There's
I
a
do
tiny
believe
little
that
Jack Lemmon that's like, I can feel it. Oh no.
Feel it.
So
Meryl Streep is like, no.
yeah,
Scrub.
I told you so. I told you so. No, I do think that's going to be the power. The evolution of power infrastructure is it's going to be something to behold.
And you think that's going to happen? Like we might have we will have
You're
largely
talking
solved
about a paradigm shift in power.
Yeah,
basically.
paradigm shift
by the end
and
of
it may not
2026.
Yeah, it's the spicy take.
Okay.
Spicy
It'll
take.
begin.
You know,
It's obviously going to take a long time. But
I honestly wouldn't put money
People
on
will look
this.
back and say that's.
I believe I don't believe it's a spicy take, but by the end of 2026, it's definitely spicy. Yes.
So here we go. Here's the other one, which is probably not as spicy and more likely to happen. And it's in the fact, well, the human genome was mapped, right? It's not the only genome. There are lots of other genomes, and we have been busily mapping those as well. And one of the reasons why Nant Studios was formed by the man who formed it is that he's in biotech. Yeah, thank you. What was his name again, Eric?
Patrick Hoon.
Patrick Hoon, who is a South American, Japanese South African, who came to Los Angeles. Yeah, and bought the Los Angeles Times, bought the Chicago Tribune, and a bunch of other things, and founded Nant Studios because I believe he understood that the medical advancements that are about to occur are so shattering that he has to be able to control the messaging because they're going to be fairly hard to wrap your head around. I agree. I agree with you. And that it's a ripple effect because Demis Habbousis, who's in charge of DeepMind at Google, won the Nobel Peace Prize this last year because of their work in protein folding. Right.
That's right.
So what they did, and it's very fascinating. Like it used to take an entire, doctorate degree for a person to fold a protein, right? It was like their sort of like whole degree was like figuring out how to fold a protein. They solved this incredibly complex problem, and then they went out and they folded every possible protein combination there could ever be. And it was trillions of proteins, folded them, released them as open source to the scientific community. The ripple effects that are about to happen from that event alone are I think you're right, James. I think the medical advancements and breakthroughs this next year is going to be like a hockey stick.
It is targeted. You can target things. I go in and be like, "Hi, I'm me. Here, take my DNA," and they'll say, "Oh, have we got? Hold on, let's go to the magic box and we got to fold some proteins. We got to do something just for you." And boom, there's your pancreatic cancer vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, they just cured. They're curing types of cancers. They just cured another one that used to be completely fatal, 100% remission using CRISPR gene editing technology, along with these targeted.
And you can make your dog glow, like a jellyfish.
This is it.
So this is it.
I think you're right. I agree with that. I think that what we're about to see. Demis Habbousis is incredibly smart guy, and he came from video games. Like he was a video game guy who
So video games are good for you, and
in fact, like how they first started the protein folding thing was creating a protein folding video game that they opened up to everybody. Yeah,
that's right.
That's how they first got that data.
So that's my spicy take is that huge advancements in biotech, and some of them are not going to be not so pretty, but the ones that we could play with are going to be really, really interesting and really.
Are we going to finally get Jurassic Park?
We're talking about
a
new woolly mammoth that they're going to try to get into again. All right, Eric, what is your spicy take?
Mine's a little bit out there. So, LLMs have pretty much read everything there is on Earth in every language, right? And there's, our humanity has been founded in religion for a long time and science, right? And I think that they're finding things out. And as they get closer and closer to an AGI, there's things that just kind of don't quite add up. Things are happening in quantum computing now. Google solved a major problem in quantum computing. And as these things come online and these computational things come online, I think we're going to see an erosion in the factions of science and religion, and that those two things are going to kind of come together in a ubiquitous way. And I think that happens in 2026. I think
so many jokes here.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
That's a very spicy take.
it's very spicy. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like things like,
because finally we'll be able to prove that Jesus cares about AK-47s and hates immigrants.
You got it. You got it.
Excuse me.
That was the Sermon on the Mount.
I am blocking you and unfriending you at this point.
No, but you got to think about it. It's like, there's all this information. It's been held sort of disparately. You now have a system that can sort of look through everything. And our kids they're not going to Google anymore. They're going to ChatGPT for a lot of their stuff, right? So like you've got these LLMs that are now informing, and you can really ask them anything. The guardrails, there are still guardrails, and there are ways around the guardrails of these.
Well,
LLMs.
I think that there was a good news cycle a couple of weeks ago where they had broken because the guardrails they put up now against various kinds of prompt injection hacking and stuff like that are pretty strong, but they were able to break prompt injection by writing what they wanted the AI to do in poetry, because it didn't have any way to protect itself against poetry. Like it was everyone else is trying to do it literal ways, and now it's just like, well, let's do it in iambic pentameter and see what happens, and it worked. And so I think what's really interesting, what's particularly interesting about what you're saying is that religion, I'm not religious, but I am but I'm fascinated. I don't have any bad.
I was telling my sister that the reason all this shit's happening to me is because God is punishing me for being an atheist. So
yeah, there you go. Makes sense. I think that religion is built to try to tackle the extremely hard questions of existence. And
so we're all going to Scientology, is what you're saying.
Well, the things that are very difficult for science to currently answer.
Yes.
And the only problem with religion, generally speaking, is that it answers it, and when it doesn't actually have an answer. But religion is itself largely metaphorical for actual things.
It is, and that's what it. It is interesting because there's a lot of atheists who sort of appreciate religion for its metaphors, right? Just like you appreciate. The Odyssey,
I think it can be
or
quite beautiful
Shakespeare,
and
or anything
exactly.
else.
Because just like with all storytelling, it was someone said this really, really well. Who was it? Comedian. I can't think of his name, but he said there are some stories that are so true, the only way you can tell them is to lie. Or some things that are so true, the only way you can tell them is to lie, which is fiction. Yeah, that's Star Wars, like watching Star Wars, right?
That's right.
And truths that are so that happen so much in your soul, in your experience, like not fly away angel's soul, but the everyday experience of yourself, that are very difficult to get to through regular scientific means because we just don't have it yet. But LLMs are 100% metaphorical all the time.
That's right.
It's true. That's where they live.
It's predictable. Yeah, it's probabilistic versus deterministic.
It's the most amazing, almost physical representation. And I was a Freudian in college. Suddenly, I turn around and this thing's being built. I'm like, oh my God! It's a manifestation of a Jungian consciousness. What is this? It's the collective Jungian cloud.
That's right.
Okay.
Humanity
I think
itself.
So this is happening.
Yeah. You're going to find that people who weren't religious are going to adopt a new type. What I'm saying is it's going to be a new type of thing that isn't science or religion. It's a fusion of them.
Yes.
Listen,
Well,
there's something.
but
we're
still,
driven
I
towards.
still believe the scientific method will still be valid and used.
No,
Well,
it
yeah,
will
like-
be.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Like,
no,
it's like
it'll be-
when I
Yeah.
debate with my religious friends, like this the thing that I'm saying, like you may be talking about angels or whatever it is, but that's fine. I think there is only one world, and we're both talking about it, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So whatever the word is you're using, when you say
Yeah.
soul, right?
Right.
You mean something that is real to you. But I use a different word, or I think about it differently, and we think these are separate things.
But they're just
probably
coping
not.
mechanisms.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all
So
coping
in that vein,
mechanisms.
right?
We're
you've
trying
got
to
this-
get at something.
You've got
Yeah.
this thing with it that where miracles can happen, right?
Mhm.
And so you think about the inconceivable miracle, right? And so this is where it's a repository of these type of things. I love trying to imagine a concept that I cannot imagine, right? And so I love like the idea of, oh no, we've discovered some things that frankly you can't handle. And that I love that idea that that's a thing, right? That there are things that are happening, interdimensional, whatever. Just there are things happening that honestly, you're just not equipped to understand it.
This seems to be the plot of Steven Spielberg's next movie, by the way. I just saw.
Oh,
a
that
trailer.
looks
Disclosure?
really interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, Disclosure
Perfect.
Day or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good. It looks good.
You know,
I'm
the Ricky Gervais joke, right? Of Anne Frank is in heaven, right? And she goes to God, it's like, I got a good Holocaust joke for you. And God's like, I don't think that's appropriate. Goes, oh, I guess you should have been there.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. I got my spicy take. All right. I've been thinking about the following. There are several things that are costing so much money that they are doomed to fail because the only way to succeed is they have to succeed bigger than anything else has ever succeeded.
Mhm.
Right. So here is my spicy take. One or all three, there are three things I'm going to give you, and at least one, if not all three of these, are going to fail to some extent. And the one I'm going to start with the one that I think is probably the most likely to succeed, but might also fail, and that's Avatar, right? It's so
Maybe.
expensive that the only way that this movie can succeed is if it's the most successful movie ever made, right? So that's a hard bet to make, right?
Mhm.
And so if it succeeds, then which I follow, in the words of Scott Ross, don't bet against James Cameron, no matter how much you might disagree with him. But
Totally.
right?
I love those goddamn silly movies.
right?
As
man.
much
I
as,
love
but
as
them.
I
mad
do-
as you
Great.
are at what he said to you the night before,
Yeah.
the guy is he is the Barry Bonds of when he gets up to bat, man. That guy does not miss.
No.
It's
the way it is,
crazy.
dude.
But the amount, but I think that even James Cameron is preparing for the failure of Avatar because he's starting to say, I want to do something different in
Yeah,
a way
he's
to
putting
step
some padding
away
down.
for a ways,
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
And so I'm not, but I do believe
You
that
don't think
Avatar.
it's bet hedging? You don't think he's hedging his bets?
I
No,
do.
I'll tell you. I think he's tired with.
I have two more things
Yeah,
that are in the
sorry,
same
go ahead,
line.
keep going.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Chris. Go ahead.
so
Chris.
the second one is Grand Theft Auto 6 is also in the same venue, and I think that
Possibly.
one actually has a strong possibility of failure.
That will take down the economy, but we'll see.
Okay. No, the third one sends us to a complete recession or depression. I think OpenAI could fail completely.
I'm unfriending you and blocking you.
absolutely agree
Yeah, I
with
think that
you,
could
and here's why. Here's why.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you my take on your spicy take. OpenAI is very, very poised to fail.
It's too
Because
expensive. They either make
Correct.
God or they fail.
Right. Now,
I think there
I
might be
wanna
a middle
tell you-
ground. Eric,
I wanna
what were
tell
you
you-
saying?
no. Here's my prediction. My prediction is they ain't got nothing on Google, even though we think they do. The problem is Google was just being more responsible with the technology. Like
and they're actually making money with it.
And they invented the transformer. They were like, we're not ready to release this stuff yet. We don't know what it's going to be able to do. We don't want it out in the wild. We don't know if somebody can use it to build a bomb. Like there's a million reasons why they were gatekeeping this stuff. OpenAI just goes, here it is. Woo!
Yeah.
Now the problem is the genie's out of the bottle. Right. So what is
out of the bottle.
That's why we all, like, a lot of us wrote Google off. They're like, oh, it's just a search engine. And now they're the top of the food chain for a
By
lot
far.
of this AI stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, they have all of our
Gemini
information.
Gemini is outperforming OpenAI
Right.
ChatGPT by a lot.
Isn't Apple going to use Gemini? I think they might. I think
You gotta understand. Like last year, we all wrote them. We were like Google, like the search engine, like wow. Like they were just like, okay, let's unleash the Kraken and let's do it our way. And the amount of tools that they have released over the next, I think you're right, Chris, but I think that we have underestimated what Google has been doing.
Oh, I know.
Massively.
Exactly. I do believe Google will succeed, but I think OpenAI will go away or be bought by Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reasonable chance that they're the Friendster of this situation.
Point of order, Chris. I just need to correct you. They're the Friendster. Oh man, that's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut,
Chris. I need to make a correction.
They're not even the MySpace in this situation.
Not even MySpace. Yeah.
No, there is a deal with Google at $1 billion a year for Apple to roll in the Apple Intelligence feature will be using Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, that is happening. That is a thing that is happening.
Yeah, but but Apple wants too much control over it to be useful, right? Because listen,
That's
I have
Apple's thing,
Gemini on every one of my Google devices, and it's very useful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
so
wait a minute, what you're saying.
But $1 billion is going nowhere?
No, because in order for it to be as good as the normal Gemini experience, they'd have to pretty much just adopt Pixel phones or Android phones, and they're never going to do that because Apple wants too much control over everything.
As long as Apple keeps on making slow horses, I'll support it. It's fine.
This is the spicy take then.
But Apple's rollout is different. Like everybody thinks they missed the AI boat in a big way. But if you look at on the development side, every one of these phones ships now with a separate compute engine that is literally just handling tensor stuff.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything with those engines yet.
I know, but when they get those out in the wild, and now every device is essentially a compute infrastructure for AI. I wouldn't write them off yet. I think they're playing it slow, and they've had some big misses in the past few years, no question.
You think they're going to get the Pied Piper for iPhone?
Possible. It's possible.
That's a very spicy take. Yeah.
The day when I'm in my house and I say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to pick that up," and I don't hear, "Yeah, no, Siri." Oh, she just did it.
Yeah,
here we go.
Right?
What?
I've been actually, since Siri's upgrade, I've been using her a little bit more because she's not as dumb as
who I'm using.
Alexa.
Getting there.
Alexa is actually pretty damn good. I mean,
she's starting to get
I talk
better,
to Gemini
right?
all the time.
I talk to Gemini all the time.
I'm a Gemini boy.
I'm agnostic. If I don't have to, I do like the ones that remember. I really do appreciate that.
So Andrew Karpathy,
Gemini remembers now, which is
Andrew Karpathy released this little piece of GitHub code that he coded in 48 hours. It's called the Council of AI, and basically you pit them all against each other. So you take Gemini, Grok, Anthropix, Claude, and you have them all anonymously vote on what you've asked it, and they all vote, and the top answer basically gets sent to you. It's genius.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't get a harumph out of you. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Each search query costs $275.
Yeah, your burden token's like a mofo at that point.
Howard Johnson is right.
But we are saying
your
that
token use, going back to James's space energy, like
Yeah.
So we're saying that NVIDIA is definitely going to be still making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes, but I do believe that
I got to make a quick phone call.
There's going to be some competition.
Video joke.
There's
right
going to be
there for
competition
everybody.
because I know specifically, like, for example, people, at Google is using their tensor processors,
Yes.
and they're actually now selling tensor solutions for other AI companies. So NVIDIA is going to get some competition, and that's good. I mean, good. We all need it, right?
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
competition's fantastic. Love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But if we live in a world with only one studio, the competition's going to have to come from us.
Well, I think we're going to have to sort of create the rebel group. And so, go back to Daniel's point, YouTube becomes a studio. So, right?
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
Again, becomes a studio again.
Again.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you been? So I was in Playa not a couple weeks ago.
I haven't been recently.
Still empty, man. That stage there's nothing.
Oh, the
going
YouTube
on.
stage?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that place has been a ghost town for a while. And what's interesting is they won the streaming war. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
But there's always going to be, like, curated content is always going to be needed. Like a point of view, right? It's yeah.
No,
There's
more
no
than ever,
question.
man. You
More
want
than
to feel
Which
like
brings us up to the Monsters Moonshine Library. For just $50 a month, you too can get the
what this is all about.
curated
It's
Monsters
actually a
Moonshine
telethon.
Library.
That's a telethon. The old Jerry Lewis telethon.
Jerry Lewis. Who do we have on the phone next, Chris?
No.
This is Madge from.
She says she hates AI and she doesn't think it's art.
I appreciate this. We should also note that, some of these things, like I said, Avatar might fail. We are recording this on December 18th, technically speaking. It should be coming out the first podcast of 2026, but we're recording it before Avatar came out. So it's not like
I'm doing my part this weekend, so get those numbers
to
up,
see
people. That's
Avatar
all
or
I'm
not
saying.
see Avatar.
See Avatar, absolutely.
yeah.
Good God. Those are fun movies,
Did
man.
you say it was December 18th?
The
Yeah,
date
it's out
is
this
December
weekend.
18th. Yes.
I gotta go shopping.
No.
So to quote
Hold on.
the man that colored Avatar, he says, if you don't like something in this movie, you're dead.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man,
Yeah.
I'm in. Good Lord. Pour it into my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll do that. Yeah. Excited.
Well, I think
All
we're all nicely positioned and got a nice front row seat to see everything that's going to happen.
How
next
wrong
year.
we are. But next year, this is going to be great. Yeah.
Even if we're wrong, I think
Yeah.
we're going to be right. It's
Yep.
going to be
Yeah.
some version of disruption that will be jaw dropping because that
guaranteed.
seems to be what drives the market.
Yeah. Yeah. Very exciting. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. We will come back a year from now and see how we did and then make predictions for 2027. So does that
Or
sound
my
good?
AI assistant will join you. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Right, exactly.
My Avatar.
Lose my number.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.